Daniel Benoliel, everyone! Hey, look. Hey. Hello. I'd just like to get something out of the way straight away, because I did a lovely gig a few weeks ago, and I was chatting to one of the other acts in the bar afterwards, and she said, Dan, I really liked your set. I thought it was very good, but I get really angry when there's an act on stage and they don't acknowledge in their act how good looking they are. That is not the joke. So I got quite annoyed because she, although it was technically a compliment, she was basically saying I had no stagecraft, which was upsetting. So I couldn't even really appreciate it. But also that is something that never occurred to me as being a problem when I started doing stand-up. Like, I could picture all the things that people would complain about my act. I thought people might go, he does too much stuff about his kids. Why isn't he doing any magic? But like, I never at any point thought there'd be people after my gigs going, well, I think he was funny, but I've got to be honest with you, I was so aroused. I was too busy wiping my seat dry to even think about the quality of his jokes. And it's not my usual, it's not the normal reaction I get to my looks when people bother to react to my looks. Two things have happened in the last couple of months where people have reacted to my looks. I was at a party a while ago, and my wife was over at the other side of the room, and she was talking to an older gentleman. And I went over to join in the conversation, and I sort of stood next to her, and this man turned to me, looked me up and down, turned back to my wife and said, and is this musketeer yours? Or? Which on balance I took as a compliment, so it's fine. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was walking down my road, and there was someone coming the other way towards me, and I had headphones on, so I couldn't hear. He was saying something, and I couldn't hear him, so I took my headphones off, and I went, what? And so because I'd already said what, he shouted at me, and he went, I said, you look like Russell Brand, mate! And then he walked past me, and I turned around, and he'd already sort of walked quite fast, so I just sort of, I didn't know how to react, so I just went, oh, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And he walked past a big group of people and turned around and went, oh, not if you want to look after your Willie! So it was an awkward few moments for me on my street. But the interesting thing is I've got 2 young children, so I don't need to look after my Willie. He's basically redundant now. I was present at the birth of both of my kids, something I'm very proud of. But I don't like telling a lot of people, because the reaction that you quite often get from men anyway is, oh, were you at the the business end? Were you were you at the business end, which I really don't like, because I don't know how many ladies here have given birth, but I don't think you have to be a doctor to appreciate that there isn't really a party end. Do you know what I mean? It's quite an involved process. So I get a bit tentative about telling people that. It worries me. The nice thing, I used to do jokes about my kids a lot, and I used to do a joke by my kids a lot. And I used to do one joke. It was a bit mean. It was about a year ago, and it didn't make any sense because my son was a lot younger then. But I'm going to close tonight with a joke that he told me last week, which shows definite signs of improvement. I did give some serious consideration to rewriting this joke so that it worked. But then I thought, he won't learn. So I do give him feedback at the end of every gig. So this... don't know why I do this. This is a joke that my 5-year-old son wrote. What did the ketchup say to the other ketchup? I'm going to go and watch something on catch up. Thanks very much. I'm Daniel Benoliel. Good night.